Spring Anime 2017. You're bringing some good shows. You're really, starting to get in your stride here. And this episode of Sukosuka and or World End actually demonstrated that to the fullest. This episode, it did so many things right for Wilhelm's character. And I do gotta ask you guys, two questions here. One, how much longer do you think this is going to go on before we may possibly lose the character's life? And two, how much longer is Willem going to let this go on? Because we see throughout this episode, it's getting to him. He has the dream. He's asking about, does anyone know anything about the Time-Year battle on Island 15? And then clearly, whenever we see him find out that the defenses have failed on Island 15, he's like, immediately, they're all dead. They're gone. All the girls are gone. And we just see him drop to his knees, and being the thumbnail, his face, like the way the studio did this beautiful scene with the raining, with the music somewhat playing in the background, all the every scene that had insert songs is amazing once again. And Spring Anime 2017, they're killing that in general. Like every studio, I mean, awesome. It's really hard to even choose which one has the best songs, for insert songs at least. And just to see Willem drop his knees instantly, just total despair, right? Just total despair. Like that was they sold it perfectly. And that's so important because a lot of times shows, we have these characters hanging around one another, and obviously you can tell they're close, but we don't get these kind of scenes to truly see, truly get the inside of how much they care about a certain and or said character. And I'm glad that, World End did that now, because a lot of times people wait for the big bang to happen. They wait for a character to die, and then they kind of like jump on the wagon of emotion. Akame Got Killed is a perfect example of that. A character die, and then there's the wagon of emotions. Why not build that up as much as you can beforehand if that is going to happen, given I would hate to see any of these girls die. But I mean, I did see episode 1. I did see where the show's going, and you can see that in the opening too. So I'm glad that they did this now, because now I'm even more connected to Willem's character if something tragic does happen, because I see how much he truly cares, and I'm going to sympathize with him better because of that. So great job on doing it. And I brought up the question about how much longer is Willem going to let this go on, because we see that like half a month has passed, and it's destroying this man, mentally. Like he's hiding it, and we see, we see it all come out whenever he finds out the girls actually are alive, whenever they show up, and he just looks around, and once he sees them, he's still in shock for like another 10 seconds. Like he's like, oh my god. And you see him scream like, you girls, and you see his power it triggered. I don't know if he injured himself or anything on that, because we see how how injured he got when he was fighting Holiday earlier, and he wasn't even trying really. But we see he moves so fast. The general didn't see him. Not even the fairies, who are able to wield the dug weapon, were able to keep up with Willem's movement. So I gotta ask, who is Willem? And that statue, the way Willem was looking at him, at that statue, it seems as if maybe he is familiar with the person, and it was a human. And it's weird because obviously humans are supposed to look down upon by all these demi-humans, like the cast and the lizards. Like we saw they treated Willem, given maybe it's just the island and they're not like that there, that could possibly be, but it seems as if Willem knew him. But we do see that guy in the opening, so it does leave a lot to be desired still. But we also do find out something very important, and that is not all fairies can actually use dug weapons. You have to have this special dream at an early age, and so on and so forth. You'll begin to get checkups and or fine-tuning, so you'll be able to handle this whenever you're an adult. And they even did mention something about what was it? Their brains can disintegrate or something like that, and they go mad. So I wonder what that's all about. We do see, it looks like Holly in the opening, her eyes turn red and she changes to a different person. So I mean, at least it seems as if that was Holly. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, obviously, because it could be someone else. It could just be, the visuals could have made it seem like it was Holly, but it's actually someone else. But it sure did look like Holly. So I'm wondering if that's going to happen to her. But I mean, she's already at a stage where she should be able to be stable, right? She is an adult fairy and already using dug weapons. So I would assume she's passed all, all the prerequisites to make sure, hey, you're going to be good for the rest of your life until you die. So other than that, though, I love this episode. It was beautiful, man. It was so beautiful, that scene where Wilhelm was just down on his knees and just in despair. I haven't seen a face like that, since like Subaru. Like they sold it perfectly. I loved what they did with that scene there. So once again, this studio's doing a great job. But at the same time, this story carries its own damn weight, and you can tell this story is making the anime in and of itself. Like, you know, the people working on the anime, great job. But without a story like this, they would not be making a show this good this spring.